On today's episode of Anime Afterthought, My Hero Academia episode 72, Red Riot. My man Fat Gum going from chunk to hunk in 2 seconds. Gotta be honest with you guys, probably the best transformation I have ever fucking seen. Not all of that, but we get to see Kirishima do work once again in a very interesting flashback. Now, last we left off, our heroes have begun their raid on Chiha Saikai, and right off the bat, they are getting split apart. Yes, Mimic has infused himself into the underground basement of this hideout, and he's able to manipulate it on a large scale, thanks partly due to that quirk enhancing drug. Now first, the main force, Mirio, he's taken off. He can go through shit, so this is basically nothing to him. The other groups of heroes would get split from all the, police backup that they had, and at the very end, we see Tamaki take on the brunt of the first battle, taking on 3 of the 8 bullets in a fantastic fucking battle. And although it ends in his victory, he is completely exhausted, and as we witness him beginning to collapse, he says something about his face, and basically that's how this episode starts. Now, I'm gonna be honest, Fat Gum Agency, Fat Gum Army, Fat Gum Pro Hero Association, whatever the dude calls his agency, they do work, all right? Tamaki just took out 3 of the upper echelon by himself, and now we got a work study kid as well as the head honcho, take out another 2 of the 8 bullets. Yes, it seems that Mimic has finally turned his attention to the heroes heading deeper into the hideout, and particularly Mr. Aizawa. Just as it seems that Eraserhead is going to be separated from the group, who steps up? My main man, the big boy himself, Fat Gum, and lo and behold, unbeknownst to fucking anyone, even Fat Gum, is Kirishima. Fat Gum's ability to, the absorption, like he couldn't even feel what the fuck was going on, so now the 2 have basically been splintered off. So Fat Gum Agency doing all the work so far, and this is gonna set up today's awesome fucking battle. We see Fat Gum and Kirishima take on 2 of the 8 bullets, taking on Rappa and Tenga, the supposed sword and shield partnership, blah blah blah. One is super legit fucking strong, even Fat Gum's absorption, he's not able to basically withstand all of it, even though later in the episode we see what he's actually doing with all this, supposed power. And Tenga's power is basically the fucking barrier fruit. It's legit OP. The dude can create barriers inside of barriers, which he actually, pretty much needs because Rappa actually attacks him. But I gotta say, they truly are the personification of a sword and spear. But right off the bat, Kirishima is attacked by Rappa, and basically his hardened ability is just like crushed. Like, I'm pretty sure this is layers of his skin flaking off that had been hardened to that point, because all we see is this red, which I assume is either muscle or some kind of, tissue, blood. Like, I don't know what it is, but it looks like all this hardening rock is just crumbling off his body. He couldn't withstand Rappa's attack. So basically it is up to Fat Gum. And like I said, his absorption can't, consume all this, because that's basically what he's doing. We see later that he's taking all of this absorption, each blow, and he's basically keeping it within his own body, and he is just taking punch after punch, like sub All Might level, but it's fucking up there. You just see a blaze of fists going right at this big boy. And on a side note, who the fuck would have guessed this dude is blonde? Honestly, I thought he was bald. I honestly thought this dude was the shape of an egg. Boy, was I fucking wrong. Now, meanwhile, Kirishima is just he's beside himself. He's so struck with fear, he cannot fucking move. And this is where we get that interesting flashback into his childhood, but more importantly, that interaction we saw earlier on in the season with Mina. So again, young kids, they have aspirations to be heroes, and at this point in the story, Kirishima's ability just is lackluster. His hardening is basically like at a fucking 1 out of 100. Like, dude is a pale imitation of what he is now, let alone going fucking unbreakable. But we see him in an instance trying to help, a lower classman, basically just gets brushed off by the bullies until Mina shows up, and characteristically is able to basically make friends with, the 2 bullies and the one getting picked on. It was a very weird interaction, but that's her personality. That's who she is. And the people trying to, comfort Kirishima, saying, well, she's gonna make a pro hero. She has that aesthetic, she has the personality, and she has a really badass ability. So she's that, I think Kirishima set that in a goal as I just witnessed this heroic act from a girl. If she can do it, I can do it. And what we see is, this guilty instance, this situation that, is shameful to him. While walking home, he sees, a couple of Mina's friends. There's this giant dude, literally just asking for directions. Obviously, he is very menacing. Got the face. Dude's at least, 10 feet, 12 feet tall. He's breaking a wall, trying to find this agency. P.S. What the fuck does he mean? I do it all for my boss. Are we gonna learn who the fuck this is? I have no clue. But anyways, dude's just asking for direction. Chicks are scared out of their fucking mind. Kirishima's like, hey, if I need to stop, I need to stop this dude. I need to step in and get shit done. And he freezes. freezes. Again, frozen with fear, unable to help, and who comes out of nowhere? Fucking Mina again. Gives the dude directions and off he fucking goes. Like I said, then he does the little boss thing, but once again, put into a situation like that, put on the spot, he was unable to do anything. And we see basically how he came to be. And it's a very almost on the nose type, very, preordained type situation where he's in his room and he's basically going over, the events that he just heard about. This middle schooler got caught by a fucking ooze monster, and another one of his friends, although it's not in the official reports, witness says, comes out of fucking nowhere and tries to save him. It's the fucking Deku and Bakugo from the beginning of the fucking series. That ignites like a little tiny spark, but at the same time, it also makes him more upset with himself that put into the same type of situation, he fucking froze. But then we see his idol, Crimson Riot, and he's in this interview and he says, he's asked a question. Basically, you do what you do, but aren't you afraid? Are you fucking stupid? I'm human. Of course I'm fucking afraid. Those who don't value that, that fear and respect it, the heroes are the ones that embrace that and go out, and this basically ignites Kirishima, and we see his determination is back, working out, improving his quirk, even get himself a new fucking hairdo, passes the exam. We see him meet with Mina again, the first day of school. I don't know, do you ship them? I kind of ship them now that I know that there's some backstory to it. Anyways, seeing Fat Gum just taking this barrage of shit, like I said, reignites his determination, his flair, and he just takes off and gets in front of this barrage that's coming and is able to withstand these punches that earlier, one of them blew him away instantly and crumbled his fucking skin. But like I said before, this is 2-on-2. While Kirishima is stepping in, like I said, Fat Gum is taking all this absorption. Where is this power going? He's absorbing it. And we see in this body, like basically all these punches that he's taken so far, the hundreds, if not thousands of punches. So fast I can't fucking see him. Obviously, that's how they're animated, but who knows how many punches, and they're rattling around his body. He's literally burning his fat to make sure all this shit stays in with him. And we see him, like I said, go from chunk to hunk, and he's able to coalesce all this power into his right fucking hand. Now, meanwhile, Kirishima is taking on the barrage from Rappa, goes in for a one punch, but Tengen's like, no, I'm gonna bury this shit. Wrong fucking time. Now they're encapsulated. Like, just because you put up a barrier, what happens if I can move that fucking barrier? If even it's indestructible, like shit, nothing's fucking indestructible. As we learn right fucking here, Kirishima getting knocked out, basically taking that whole barrage was basically the perfect timing, the perfect decoy, and Fat Gum gets off a glorious Kamehameha fucking spirit gun, Jenkin Rock type fist, and just fucking destroys them. And I have to say, one of the most iconic things is him still having that fist out, yet gently cradling the exhausted Kirishima, and it was just fucking glorious. Like, honestly, I'm so impressed with Fat Gum agency. Tamaki, badass. Kirishima becoming a badass. Fat Gum, who the fuck would have guessed? Guy named Fat Gum doing work. Like, this is legit. Oh, this episode was fucking awesome. Just a display of raw power of the Fat Gum agency. So fucking into it. But we're just beginning. We still have the other heroes, the ones that weren't splintered off. We still have Overhaul. Was it Chronostasis is his right-hand man? We gotta save Eri. Mimic is still up to his fucking shit. Like, there's just an ongoing battle on not only that, but we still have, like, they're giving these little bits, like, building to something. Tamaki said something today. The underlings are talking about a previous boss, which I think is the dude we saw in the hospital bed. What the fuck is Overhaul up to? There's so much going on, and just, feverish pitch today. Like, the music was perfect, everything. Fucking loved it. So with that being said, in this raid basically just still underway, I honestly cannot wait for future episodes.